8 before the news with Al. Here's a lovely story out of Poole, which involves kite clothing. Its founder is Jo Spragg, and she's on with us now. Morning, Jo.
Morning, Steve.
Lovely to talk to you. So tell me what you have recently done for the evacuees from Afghanistan.
Okay. Well, just like 2 weeks ago, a friend out of the blue, a local friend called Cheryl Rogers, who's trying to pull together as many supplies as possible for Afghan refugees, contacted me because she knows we are a children's wear brand. And baby and children's clothing is one of the things that they're particularly desperate for, the Afghan refugees. And from there, it happened pretty quickly. She introduced us to to React, who are an emergency and crisis response charity, and they're run by ex-military veterans. And they're reacting so quickly to this situation that's unfolding. And on Monday at lunchtime, React turned up with a van. And we donated over £20,000 worth of stock of old lines, which, before COVID, in non-COVID times, we do clearance sales for local people in church halls and schools. But, we've not been able to do that. And we had some clothes in our warehouse that we could donate. So we thought it was a really meaningful and tangible way of helping, really. So it was a no-brainer, really.
You've glossed through that quite quickly. £20,000 worth of clothes. For people who don't know the brand, I mean, so I've got a 2-year-old. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say this kind of thing on the BBC, but I'm going to anyway. You make lovely clothes, bright and colourful. These Afghan refugees and the children are going to be dressed in some really lovely things here.
I hope so, yes. We were pulling the boxes out, and there was, everything from little snowsuits and jackets for the winter to hats and T-shirts and, dresses. And I just hope it helps somebody. And I know they whisked the whole van, plus my friend Cheryl, who sort of organised it all. She went up with a van as well because there was extra boxes. They went straight to Birmingham, where there's a lot of families that have come into the country that are sort of quarantining there at the moment, and they've got nothing. Yeah. They've come in with nothing at all, and they were absolutely so over the moon. And we'd actually organised it all by sort of gender and size. So if you had a 6-year-old boy, that there was a box for them, and a box for a 3-year-old girl, and there's lots of newborn. I mean, look, I heard a story where a woman had a baby on the plane on the way over. There's lots of newborn babies. So it's just great that we can help, because our clothing goes from 0 to 13 years. So.
I mean, you again, for people who don't know, you do ethical, organic stuff.
Yes, absolutely. It's all sustainable and ethical. Yeah.
Have you been moved previously to get involved to this scale in a charity cause? And if not, what is it about the Afghan one that particularly got you?
To be honest, we haven't done anything on this scale before. I mean, we do whatever we can to help when we can. For example, when we started doing face coverings 18 months ago, we donated to Julia's House and Place to Be, the mental health charity, through the sales of our face coverings as well. So we just do what we can when we can, really. But yes, certainly the Afghan refugee thing. I mean, I'm a mum of 3 girls as well. The whole thing about the families, it's just so heartbreaking. You sort of understand yourself when you've got a family, how terrible it could be to come away from a country with nothing but one suitcase. Terrible. It's great to help.
Especially, I mean, I see the amount of clothes that my 2-year-old seems to need on a daily basis. It's the messes that he makes. What can people listening to this do, Jo? This shipment has gone now, but is there any way you'll continue to be involved?
Loads more to do. I mean, Cheryl's working night and day to organise depots in Dorset, so she's doing a lot of work locally. So if you want, I know she's got a GoFundMe page, which is called Help Afghan Service Families. So you can go to GoFundMe and look at her page. She's also looking for volunteers to help sort clothing, and she needs more household goods and things like toiletry items as well. So you can go to Cheryl Rogers' page, GoFundMe, Help Afghan Service Families. I think that's the best way to help in this situation, definitely.
Cool. All right, and there's some more details as well on the blog pages of your website, kiteclothing.co.uk. Really nice to talk to you, Jo. Stay in touch.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
Jo Spragg, who is the founder of Kite Clothing in Poole.